We all tend to think of computers as these, well, infallible machines, right? Especially when it comes to numbers. But what if I told you that deep down, inside their core logic, there's a kind of glitch, and it's just waiting for the right moment to happen? So let's just ask the question straight up. Are computers actually perfect at math? I mean, think about it. We trust them with literally everything: our money, our communications, even launching rockets into space. But what happens when they encounter a number that's just too big for the little box they're trying to shove it into? The answer, and this might surprise you, is a big no. And the reason is actually pretty simple, something we can all kind of get. They run out of space. See, every single piece of data, every number, every letter, has to fit into a predefined box. And when it doesn't fit, well, that's when things start to go wrong in a couple of really interesting ways. Let's dive into the first one. Okay, so our first concept is something called truncation. Honestly, the easiest way to picture this is to think of it like an abrupt digital cutoff. The computer just chops off whatever doesn't fit. And that phrase, chopped off, is absolutely key here. This isn't like rounding, where you find the nearest polite number. Nope, the computer just brutally discards whatever's hanging off the end. It's a pure, unadulterated loss of information. And these examples really nail it. Let's say you have the number 399, but the computer only has space for a whole number. What happens? Poof, the point 99 is just gone. It just becomes 3. The same thing happens with text. You've got Johannesburg, but you're trying to fit it into a field that's only 5 characters long. Well, you're left with Johan. In both cases, you've lost really important data. All right, so that's truncation. Now let's move on to our second big idea. It's called overflow. And to understand this one, the best, and I mean the best analogy, is the odometer in an old car. So just picture this. You've had this trusty old car forever. You've driven it everywhere, and the odometer is clicking up, up, up until it hits its absolute max. 999, 999, 999. It's full. So what happens when you drive just one more mile? Well, it doesn't just jam up or break, right? It rolls over. It clicks right back to all zeros. And believe it or not, that is exactly what happens inside a computer when a number gets too big for its container. This whole phenomenon is called a wraparound. So here's the crucial difference. With truncation, you're losing detail, right? Precision. But with overflow, you're hitting a hard ceiling. You're exceeding the maximum limit, and it causes the number to snap all the way back to the beginning. Or, and this is where it gets really wild, sometimes it snaps to a completely bizarre negative number. Okay, check this out. For a simple positive-only number, programmers call this unsigned, if the biggest number it can hold is 255, what happens when you add 1? It wraps right back to 0, just like our car odometer. Easy enough. But for numbers that can be either positive or negative, we call those signed, things get way weirder. If you take the biggest positive number, say 32,767, and you add just 1 to it, it can flip catastrophically all the way to the biggest negative number, negative 32,768. I mean, can you imagine your bank account doing that? Yikes. So let's just pause for a second and put these side by side. Truncation, that's about chopping off data, losing precision. Overflow, that's about hitting a maximum limit and wrapping around. The results couldn't be more different. One just shortens your information. The other can flip it on its head completely. But make no mistake, both of these can be incredibly dangerous, leading to anything from a tiny error to a full-blown system meltdown. Which, of course, brings us to the big question, so what? Why should you care about any of this if you're not a programmer? Well, here's why. Because these aren't just abstract, nerdy concepts. Out in the real world, these little glitches can and do cause absolute catastrophes. For starters, hackers absolutely love overflows. They use something called a buffer overflow to literally hijack software and seize control of entire systems. But truncation is just as nasty. In the financial world, imagine a program that keeps truncating, just chopping off tiny fractions of a cent from thousands of transactions. It's a classic trick that can quietly funnel millions of dollars into the wrong hands. And yeah, even huge historical bugs, like the whole Y2K panic, at their heart, they were all about these kinds of hidden limits. But if you want the ultimate, most dramatic example, look no further than this. Back in 1996, the Ariane 5 rocket, a massive European Space Agency project, literally blew itself up just 40 seconds after it launched. And the cause? It was a single overflow error, A piece of software tried to cram a big 64-bit number into a tiny little 16-bit space. The number overflowed, the guidance system completely lost its mind, and a $500 million rocket just gone. All because one number was too big for its box. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Our digital world feels boundless, right? Infinite. But it's not. It's built on a foundation of very finite spaces and very hard limits. Truncation and overflow, they're like the invisible cracks in that foundation. They're the hidden rules that quietly govern everything we do, from the apps on your phone to the most critical infrastructure on the planet. And that really leaves us with one final and pretty crucial question to think about. A simple overflow error destroyed a multi-million-dollar rocket almost 3 decades ago. So, what invisible limits are we pushing up against right now in our incredibly complex AI models, our high-speed financial markets? What glitch is just sitting there waiting in the machine for us today?